welcome back. And with me to talk about Jason Witten, I have Mallory Hartley and Ashton Cotton. So Mallory, I'll ask you first. Do you think that Jason Witten is going to stay with the Cowboys?
You know, at first, people kind of thought that it was Jason Witten's decision. It was going to be more of his decision where he wants to go, whether to stay or to go somewhere else. But now I'm thinking it's more of Mike McCarthy's and Jerry Jones' decision.
I mean, yeah, they're building this new team.
Right, exactly.
Mike McCarthy has a hand in it.
And Jason Witten has met with Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. He's met with Jerry Jones more, but he's met with Mike McCarthy more. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he's met with him once, and all we've heard is silence. He hasn't heard anything. And to me, that's pretty telling. Mm-hmm. And so I think he's going to be playing somewhere else. Well, in his 17th season.
You know, and that's really interesting that you say that, because you're right. They haven't talked about it, you know, and for a player like Jason Witten that's in the limelight with the Cowboys, and he has been, you would think that they would talk about that, you know,
right.
with this
He's
transition.
Such a big player. He's been with this team since 2003, and you know, he had an early retirement,
which was
came out.
terrible. He went into the booth and
he's not a Tony Romo. He's not a Tony Romo at all. But he came back and he had an okay season. He was great on third downs as well. I mean, still. But he only had 529 receiving yards this year, and that was the worst that he's done since his rookie season back in 2003. He's not the same guy as he was a couple years ago.
He's getting older. So I will transition over to you, Ashton. He is getting older.
Yes.
Do you think that he's going to stay with the Cowboys? Do you think he's going to go?
He is getting on the old side. He's 38 now. You know, back in his last season, he was 63 catches, like you said, 529 rushing yards for 4 touchdowns. What his history has been with the Cowboys, I feel like just because that he is going to stay. His options, you know, going towards if he wants to coach or if he wants to just go to another team. I know, like the Detroit Lions, they need a tight end. You know, other teams like New York Giants or Tennessee Titans. But just for him, history and how he's playing and how his background with the organization and just that team, I honestly feel like he is going to stay just because of those circumstances.
I feel like if we just don't, if like you said, if it was his decision, I think that he would stay with the Cowboys, because like I said, he's getting up there, and that kind of is like the conversation that we were having about Tom Brady, you know?
I was about to say, it's almost like a Tom Brady situation, except Jason Witten hasn't.
I mean, Jason Witten isn't. I mean, Jason Witten isn't Tom Brady. But it's the same thing. You know, you're getting up there. Do you really want to try to move to another team?
He's got 1 or 2 years left in him. Why would you go somewhere else if it's his decision? Now, it's most likely not going to be his decision. But if it is, he wants to stay with this franchise, and he wants to win a Super Bowl with the team that he's played with for a decade and a half.
Yeah. I do feel like that as well. But on the contrary, you have to think about like where his home is. Like, for instance, like why I say Tennessee Titans or New York Giants. For instance, New York Giants, his old coach, Jason Garrett, you know, the new offensive coordinator, maybe he wants to set ties with that, or maybe he just wants to go back to his hometown like Tennessee Titans. So it's just different kind of options that he do have. I know you want to say like he's definitely staying with the Cowboys, but I just kind of feel like he might just switch just because of his background and where he's from.
Well, you know, I'm sorry. Real quick,
it's okay.
I feel like also, if he does go to the New York Giants, I feel like Jason Garrett will make sure that he plays. He gets quite a few snaps in, you know? I feel like if he stays also with the Cowboys, I don't know if Mike McCarthy would do the same for him.
Yeah, you're right. There's not that tie there. But also, you have to think about these other teams trying to pick him up. Do they want to spend the money on a 38-year-old, you can debate, washed-up tight end from Dallas? I wouldn't want to. Yeah. So I think that if Mike McCarthy lets him go, I think that if the Cowboys let him go, I just think he should try to coach. You know, try to do something else within football, because you can without playing football. You know, like, I think that he should stay out of the booth and not go into the booth again, because he was terrible. The only thing worse that I've seen is Rob Gronkowski. Oh, my goodness. But so do you think that, you mentioned that if he stays with the Cowboys that he might not get that much playing time. What do you think his contract is going to look like if he stays with the Cowboys?
I think it's going to be another year contract.
Yeah.
1 season contract. And I think that I don't think he's going to do as well. Just like I think he's kind of on that downward spiral just because of his age. And you know, he's getting tired. He doesn't work out as he used to. He's not the same Witten as he was back in early 2000s, you know? Yeah. And so I think that it's going to be a year, maybe 2 contract. I don't think it's going to be super long, like some people think.
Yeah. Real quick, what about you? What do you think the contract's going to look like?
I strongly really agree that the Cowboys is going to offer him another contract. What I do believe is going to be a year, but based off his stats last year, it's only downhill from here. So it's kind of like you already know what's kind of predicted for the next season.
All right, well, thank you guys. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the XFL and where it's headed in the future.